I've been planning a what if Sea of Thieves was in VR video for a while, but that's because every time I play it, I think of how cool it would be in VR. But a recent game announcement is making this video a whole lot more interesting. So I'm a huge Sea of Thieves fan. It took me a while to fall in love with it, but now that I have, there's just one thing that's been irking me, and the more I play the game is the more I realize how insanely awesome Sea of Thieves would be in VR. Well, Rare hasn't said a word about VR support, so it's really just a dream. That is, until Battlewake was announced, and they've got my attention. Almost everything about Sea of Thieves just begs for virtual reality implementation. Playing music with your buddies, captaining a ship, pulling sails up and down, digging up treasure, ship-to-ship combat, man, it all sounds amazing in VR. The only problem I can really see with Thieves coming directly onto VR are the intense waves that could be pretty nauseating for some people. But regardless, I've never been able to get the idea of being a pirate fighting the Kraken in VR out of my head. It's kind of obvious that it isn't happening, with the Thieves roadmap not even mentioning anything close to VR support, but another very well-known VR developer has stepped up to the challenge. Survios, the same developers that brought fan favorites like Raw Data and Creed Rise to Glory, have risen to the plate announcing Battlewake this week, a pirate, seafaring adventure game, and in their own words, a high-sea mayhem adventure turning players into superpowered pirate lords embarking on a larger-than-life nautical war for the ages.
Oi, Captain. There's good winds.
In Battlewake, you'll be able to play solo in what is advertised as 20 mission campaigns. You can co-op that same campaign, run challenges, and the part that I'm most excited about is PvP. Now, I may just be a sucker for player versus player games, but it's really satisfying knowing that there's someone on the other side of the headset that you just wrecked. And it's also more satisfying knowing that the person that just wrecked you is another player, not an NPC. So the game obviously looks awesome, but I don't want to discredit Survios by saying it's just a Sea of Thieves in VR. It's a whole different beast. Starting with some things I wish were part of the game, but it doesn't look like they quite are. The first thing is crews. It seems like each ship is pilotable by a single player, so that it doesn't look like there's any crew to call up to bail water, or to raise or change sail directions. You fire all of your own cannons and weapons. And I really do love the crew part of Thieves. Honestly, it's one of the biggest factors for replayability for me. But we haven't had total information on the gameplay yet, so I don't want to mark anything out regarding crews. The next is treasure hunting. In a pirate game, you obviously want to collect booty, right? I mean, not that kind of booty, this kind. And while I'm not exactly sure how you do that in Battlewake, it doesn't seem like it's really the system resembling Thieves, which that's okay, but it'd be really fun to hop off your ship, dig up some treasure, and carry it back while worrying about getting attacked by other players. Enough for the dreaming part. Now let's look at a couple awesome things about Battlewake that really set it apart from Sea of Thieves in a positive way. Here's a quote: "Unleash mighty tsunamis, send your enemy ships flying in stormy maelstroms, and literally release the Kraken." So magic is going to be a big part of the game. It looks like you essentially have ship abilities that you could use, and many of those are magic based, which is pretty interesting. They say that you could summon creatures like the Kraken to fight alongside you, and I could just imagine how intense a situation like that would be in VR. Remember when I mentioned that big problem I could imagine for a lot of VR users? That would be standing still in your room and dealing with the up and down motion of waves on your ship, possibly creating an actual seasick effect for a bunch of people? Well, Survios mentions a specific system they have designed for that exact problem, saying, "All sea, no sickness." Survios' proprietary immersive vehicle system simulates the thrills of sailing upon the high seas without triggering nausea. So it looks like they've definitely taken the seasickness part into account while making this game. Finally, 10-player arcade PvP sounds like an absolute blast. Open seas, ship battles, ganking, it really just sounds like a great time, and I'm getting pretty excited. The game is going into closed beta soon, and you can apply to be in that closed beta on their website, which I'll link below. Now, this isn't a video for Survios or anything. I'm just super hyped about the game, and it's a completely different style of VR game. It does have some similarities in terms of art style and, pirates to Sea of Thieves. And I've always wanted to play that game in VR, but they're totally different entities. But I think that they accomplish a pretty similar idea. The feeling of being a pirate on your ship, sailing the sea to instill your status as a legend of folklore, and to make a whole lot of gold while doing it. So are you excited for this game, and should I make more content based around it? I know I'm pumped, but what do you think? Make sure to subscribe and like this video, and more importantly, let me know what you think. I love feedback of all types, and I appreciate all the love. Well, thanks for watching everyone, and happy sailing.